afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. A little chilly out there again today.
Still chilly?
That wind.
It is something. Did you see the big full moon, though, this morning?
Yeah.
The winter full moon? It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I saw it last night, too. And it was still in the sky this morning.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah, so it's cold, but clear, so that's good.
Yeah, it's spectacular. We'll get to the weather in just a bit, but first, here's what's making news today. We'll take you to a Dane County courtroom where the trial of a man accused of sexually assaulting a woman on State Street is underway.
Saying goodbye to Rosalind Carter. I'm Skylar Henry in Atlanta with a tribute service for the former First Lady.
And it's a day of giving today, Giving Tuesday, how one local nonprofit is benefiting from the goodwill of others.
But first, let's take a look outside. We've got some ice forming on Lake Wabisa.
Here it comes.
But a break from the cold. That's some good news. Jacob's in the backyard, warming up the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'm also trying to stay warm out here, but the good news is that 24 hours from now, temperatures will be about 20 degrees warmer. But let's take a look at the current conditions. 21 degrees in Madison, variable cloudy skies, some partly sunny skies across our area. Wind not too bad at this hour. Across Dane County, a lot of area in the middle to lower 20s, but parts of our region have stayed in the teens for much of the day, and that includes right now 19 in Monroe, 19 in Platteville, a few other locations in the teens. Now, the good news is that, not to mention tomorrow, but even tonight, the temperatures are not going to fall that much. Not like what we saw last night. And here's a look at the low temperatures from this morning. A lot of our area saw single digits for the first time this year, and a few locations, especially in the central portion of the state, actually dropped below zero, and the wind chills were below zero for a lot of locations. Right now, the winds aren't too bad, only maxing out at 10 miles per hour, which is keeping those wind chills pretty close to the actual temperatures. Now, as we look at the evening forecast, as I mentioned, the temperatures aren't going to drop all that much. In fact, they may even rise a bit as we head into the overnight hours, and we look at the low temperatures pretty close to what we're seeing right now, with lows in the middle to lower 20s. I'll talk more in detail about your forecast for the rest of the week and show you just how much warmer temperatures will be tomorrow.
All right, Jacob, thank you. We'll check back in a few minutes. We start with breaking news this afternoon. A middle school in Stoughton was evacuated after someone reported a bomb threat.
Arman Rahman is live there this afternoon with the latest information. Arman, is law enforcement still on the scene?
Mark and Susan, law enforcement actually just gave the all clear that the River Bluff Middle School building is safe around 3:15 or 3:30 today. And that's the building you can see behind me that's tan and brick behind the school district building. Now, they say around 1 p.m. the bomb threat was reported to them, and they evacuated students and staff to a nearby location off the campus as a precautionary measure, and that's where kids were reunited with their parents to come and get them. And I'm seeing right now, as we've been talking, staff heading back from that location into the building. Now, along with the Stoughton authorities, the Dane County Sheriff's Office, Madison Police Department, and Capitol Police and UW-Madison Police all responded. They found nothing suspicious or dangerous inside the middle school, they tell us. And Stoughton police say there is no threat to the public right now as they continue investigating. They ask if you have any information to give them a call. In Stoughton, live, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Arman, thank you. Today is day one of the trial for Ivan Smart, the man accused of sexually assaulting a woman on State Street last year.
Prosecution and defense attorneys gave opening statements in court. Brady Mallory shows us how each side is shaping up their case. Brady?
And we want to warn you, some of these details are hard to hear. Now, during opening statements today, prosecutors said the woman said she felt like she had been hit by a bus after the alleged incident. Smart's defense, though, says if jurors do their jobs, they will find his client not guilty. In July last year, the woman says Smart and another man grabbed and touched her without her consent, forced her into a car, drove away, and says Smart assaulted her. She fought back and got away. Assistant District Attorney Dan Rice's statement focused heavily on the woman's story of trauma and says physical evidence and witnesses will prove his case. Smart's attorney, Adam Welch, questioned the woman's memory from that night of the alleged assault, and he also claims DNA evidence is inconsistent.
And when you've seen and heard all the evidence in this case, we're going to come back before you and we're going to ask that you do justice.
Keep track of all the reasonable doubts, whether they're ones that I suggested or ones that you thought of. And at the end, talk amongst yourselves when you go back to deliberate and ask yourselves, have all of these reasonable doubts been ruled out by the state?
Getting to this point has been a bit of a journey. In September 2022, Smart was found incompetent to stand trial. However, during a second hearing a few months later, he was deemed competent and the case was allowed to proceed. Court resumes tomorrow.
Brady, thank you. Today is the biggest day of the year for nonprofit organizations across our state and nationwide.
It's Giving Tuesday, and our Maddie Hemps spent the day at a nonprofit here in Madison to learn more about the impact of the donations. Maddie?
The Literacy Network here in Madison provides English language classes to adult students, as well as GED and college preparation courses and a citizenship test study session. Officials at the nonprofit say without donors, they couldn't attend to their students' needs. Last year on Giving Tuesday, the Literacy Network received $17,000, which they put towards adding more classes to their roster and hiring more instructors. So far this year, 61 students from the network have landed new jobs thanks to their continuing education. Their executive director, Robin Ryan, told me that the network serves more than 1,300 students, and they need support to sustain their mission.
We really focus on keeping students in classes from semester to semester so that they can gain skills and really have the greatest impact of literacy.
Today, all donations to the network up to $5,000 will be matched. The funds will assist in providing another class to the schedule next year. To donate, go to litnetwork.com/givingtuesday. And for a list of other Madison nonprofits to give back to, check out channel3000.com.
Maddie, thank you. We are seeing our first images of President Jimmy Carter since the passing of his wife of 77 years, Rosalind.
The former president attended a memorial tribute for his wife in Atlanta, along with other former U.S. presidents and every former First Lady. Skylar Henry has more on the moving tribute.
America the Beautiful played as Rosalind Carter's casket entered the sanctuary of Glen Memorial Church in Atlanta. Seated in the front row, her husband of 77 years, former President Jimmy Carter, in a wheelchair and lap blanket. He was joined by the Bidens, Clintons, and every living former First Lady.
Rosalind Carter would be so pleased to see that she brought all of you together on this day.
The meticulously curated tribute included some of the former First Lady's favorite hymns. And the scripture passages that informed her life.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
The Carter's son, Chip, memorialized his mother.
My mother, Rosalind Carter, was the most beautiful woman I've ever met, and pretty to look at, too.
And daughter Amy shared a love letter her father wrote 75 years ago.
But when I see you, I fall in love with you all over again. Does that seem strange to you? It doesn't to me.
The CEO for the Carter Center said the former president was determined to be here today, calling this trip up to Atlanta Rosalind's last and probably her husband's, too.
Carter family friends Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood performed a duet of John Lennon's Imagine.
And the world will be as one.
And the entire congregation was invited to join in singing Let There Be Peace on Earth, something Rosalind Carter worked to achieve in small and large measure. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Atlanta.
A private funeral will be held tomorrow, and Mrs. Carter will be laid to rest at the family's home in Plains, Georgia.
Well, with the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas extended until tomorrow, Hamas is setting more Israeli hostages free. In the fifth swap since the ceasefire began, Hamas released 10 more Israeli hostages in exchange for 30 Palestinian prisoners. Last night, of the 11 more hostages released, the youngest, a pair of twins just 3 years old. Israel and Hamas agreed to extend the ceasefire for 2 more days, securing the release of 20 more hostages, while Israel will free 60 Palestinian prisoners. Qatar has been the linchpin to the negotiations.
Main focus right now is, and our hope is, to reach a sustainable truce that would lead to further negotiations and eventually to an end to this war.
It's believed Hamas is still holding dozens of hostages in Gaza. The ceasefire deal, negotiated by Qatar and supported by the U.S., also allows more aid trucks into Gaza, which is still in crisis.
41 construction workers trapped inside a tunnel in the Himalayas for 17 days have been rescued. Indian rescuers pulled them all out after hours of drilling through debris of rock, concrete and earth to reach them. The evacuation of the men, who are low-wage workers from some of India's poorest states, began more than 6 hours after rescuers broke through the debris in the tunnel, which caved in on November 12th. They were pulled out on wheeled stretchers through a 3-foot-wide steel pipe.
Members of the Senate held a hearing today to discuss ways to tackle the gun violence epidemic gripping the nation. Judiciary Committee Chair Dick Durbin cited data that shows in 2022, 48,000 people in the U.S. were killed in firearm-related deaths. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle heard from experts working to address the crisis, including medical doctors and gun control advocates.
Help our country have hope by demonstrating collaborative action, as you have done before. We are turning into a nation of traumatized survivors.
To the extent that we can get people in crisis help, especially lethal means counseling about all lethal means, not just firearms, that saves lives.
Guns are now the #1 cause of death among American children and teenagers.
History was made today in the skies. A Virgin Atlantic passenger jet took off from London, powered by 100% sustainable aviation fuel. About 8 hours later, the plane landed at New York's JFK Airport. It's the first commercial airline to fly such a distance using only sustainable fuel. Most planes use a blend with just a tiny fraction of it. According to Virgin Atlantic, the fuel is made with cooking oil and waste from animal fat and corn. It delivers CO2 life cycle emission savings of up to 70%.
It's going to take a while before we can get enough fuel where everybody's going to be able to fly, but you've got to start somewhere. And if we didn't prove it could be done, you would never ever get sustainable aviation fuel.
It smells like French fries, probably.
So.
Experts say aviation accounts for more than 2% of the global carbon emissions. Governments around the world are beginning to require airlines to use more sustainable fuels over the next decade. There were no paying customers, by the way, on today's historic flight.
They probably couldn't pay people to get on it.
Maybe not.
Well, as we mentioned at the top of this newscast, today is Giving Tuesday.
We'll find out how important this day is to nonprofits and if the current economy might affect the amount that people can donate today. We'll have that interview when Live at 4 continues.
Hey, big money right now at Menards. Cut the cord and turbocharge your next project with Bosch cordless power tools. They're designed to tackle the toughest jobs. Rip, cut, drill, and drive. Faster charging speeds, longer run times, and lasting durability. Pick up this 18-volt compact drill kit for $98.97. Cut the cost without cutting corners and grab the 18-volt cordless circular saw or reciprocating saw, now just $99 each at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure.
Where do you get your important information? Do you trust your neighbor? Your community newsletter? What about your friends? The opinions of those we trust are important to consider. But when it comes to Medicare, everyone's needs are different. So it's important to find the coverage that best fits you. Make sure you're speaking to a Medicare professional like the licensed insurance agents at Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. With one call to Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we can help you find a Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits that could save you money and that lets you keep your doctors. With just your zip code, we can find plans in your area with the benefits you need at a cost you can afford. You may even be able to get a Medicare Advantage plan that includes many of the additional benefits that you want. But you don't get these plans automatically. Call now to find out what your friends, family, and neighbors have been talking about. You might be surprised by what you hear. The Medicare annual enrollment period is right now, and you may be eligible for a plan today. Don't wait. Call now. You only have a limited time to explore these Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans and make changes. New plans are available every year, so even if you're content with your current plan or you called last year, there may be a new 2024 plan available with additional benefits you haven't even heard about yet. The call is free and there's no obligation to enroll. Over 32 million people already have a Medicare Advantage plan. Call to find out what they're talking about. When it comes to your Medicare coverage, don't just overhear it. Hear it straight from the trusted, licensed agents at Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. The Medicare annual enrollment period is right now, and you may be eligible for a plan today.
Call 800-604-0536. That's 800-604-0536. 800-604-0536.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back, everyone. We have breaking sports news at this hour.
UW star running back Braylon Allen says he will declare for the NFL draft. He made the announcement just moments ago on his personal Twitter account. Allen has talked openly about his desire to go pro. He's been the Badgers' top halfback for the better part of 3 seasons. Well, the Wisconsin volleyball team is on a 3-match winning streak.
The Badgers will kick off their NCAA tournament campaign Thursday night at the UW Fieldhouse against Jackson State. Lauren Barnes, who won a national championship with the Badgers in 2021, joined the Wisconsin Huddle this week. Sports director Zach Hanley asked her to break down what Bucky needs to do to bring home another title.
The biggest thing is we always kind of just reset. It was always a new season. So going in from preseason to Big Ten, we always said, okay, we're 0-0. And then going from Big Ten to then the playoffs, it's okay, everyone's 0-0. It's race to who can win 6 games in a row. So just kind of really resetting your mind.
You can watch the Wisconsin Huddle, by the way, every Friday night at 6:30. It airs immediately following News 3 Now at 6.
It was a record weekend for holiday shoppers. A survey from the National Retail Federation finds 200.4 million consumers shop between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday, up about 2% from last year. Black Friday was the most popular day for both in-store and online shopping. NRF President Matthew Shea says the high turnout can be attributed to several factors. Well, stocks edged higher on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials gained 83 points. The NASDAQ added 40, and the S&P 500 tacked on almost 4.5. As we mentioned, today is Giving Tuesday, a global day of generosity held every year on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
It all started as a simple hashtag in 2012, and it has grown into one of the biggest fundraising dates on the calendar.
But nonprofits are facing some headwinds this holiday season as family budgets are stretched. Mary Beth Collins is the executive director of the Center for Community and Nonprofit Studies in the School of Human Ecology at UW-Madison. Mary Beth, welcome to the program.
Hi, Mary Beth. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this has grown substantially in the 11 years it's been around. How did it all start?
Absolutely. Well, it was interesting to go back and review the history, but there was a nonprofit professional, Henry Timms, who's since become an author and led other organizations in New York City. He was working at the time at the 92nd Street Y, a community and cultural center in Manhattan. And he came up with the idea that for one day around that Thanksgiving holiday time, perhaps there could be a movement to encourage people to donate on a given day. And around that same time, other people were actually talking about a similar concept, I think in response in large part to the fact that consumers were spending so much money on Black Friday. And so the thought was maybe they could leverage that expenditure a little bit back towards the public good and designate a day to divert some of that or just add on to it some charitable donations.
Mm-hmm. Boy, and it's an international phenomenon, and obviously nonprofits, especially local nonprofits, really rely on it. But people who donate get something back from it as well. Isn't there a lot of research that shows if we do good things come back to us?
Yeah, there's actually some really recent social science research that I've encountered that does suggest that acts of generosity and kindness really can be wonderful sources of improved sense of well-being and even mental health. I'm not an expert necessarily in that area, but what I do also observe from our work at the center is that folks being engaged in their communities in a variety of different ways, from volunteerism to donating to serving on a board or just having sort of a neighbor-to-neighbor engagement even, those are also contributing factors to personal and community well-being. And people start to feel more in control of this very perplexing world when they are more connected to something that they care about in their community, or feel that they're able to do something positive for an issue that troubles them or that they wish was going in a better direction.
Yeah.
So I do think Giving Tuesday, with the way that it's made donating on a smaller scale and in a more accessible way through social media and these campaigns, is probably offering that to a lot more people than before it came around.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any concern with the current economy that the donations may be down a little bit?
Yeah, I do think, we saw a very important peak that is historical, in its scope in 2020 with regard to the size of donations generally over the globe. I mean, just level of giving in general in 2020, it kind of peaked. And there were also some, extenuating circumstances during that time. Obviously, the pandemic and a lot of foundations and donors, I think, opening up funding that they weren't necessarily planning to give under normal circumstances. Since then, there's been a decline, and I think we are all aware as regular folks of the way that inflation and other factors since the pandemic have made all of our monthly budgets look a little bit less flexible. And so I think that nonprofits are experiencing both a retraction of some of that giving from a few years ago, some of the flexible giving that we saw in 2020, as well as seeing individual donors perhaps tighten their belts a little bit. I also think, though, there is a trend that the wealthier individuals in our communities, on our planet, are the ones that are giving the most in terms of overall charitable giving in the world. And that's also related to the bigger divide, actually, between the rich and not rich. And so I think that the large donors like Mackenzie Scott that we hear a lot about will still be an important source. But those smaller donations from your community members really matter in terms of engagement locally. I think it is true, though, that those are the individuals that will probably have to look a little harder at their donations this year. But I also think that I'm constantly amazed at the way that folks that don't have all that much to give will still often find a way to give to the causes that they care about.
Absolutely.
And I think it is because it makes folks feel good and that they're giving something back.
They have skin in the game. Every little bit helps.
Every cent counts.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Mary Beth,
It
thanks for
does.
being with us today, and there's still plenty of time to give.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Great to see you.
You too. Thank you so much.
Well, do you decorate the outside of your house for the holidays?
Just a tad. I haven't started actually yet. I'm way behind this here. Wait until you see what a suburban Chicago family did to celebrate this season. And Swifties at the same time. That story's coming up after Jacob's First Warn forecast.
Replace your outdated bath or shower with a clean, new, updated look. Make the call to Mad City Baths, Wisconsin's #1 remodeler. In as little as 1 day, get a new shower or walk-in tub back with a lifetime warranty. And with Mad City's Price Lock Guarantee, lock your price in for 1 year. And now, during our holiday savings sale, receive 75% off installation of a new bath or shower. 48 months, 0 interest, senior military discounts, and a bonus. Receive $500 in Mad City cash with purchase of a new bath or shower. Plus, call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with your in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. Here's that number again, 608-729-4466.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet? Commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
It's that time of year again, America. So let's light up the season during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event. Choose from a large inventory of Ford vehicles equipped with technology, space, and flexibility for any season. Get special offers on our adventure-ready SUVs or on our great selection of Ford trucks. And make the holidays bright with Ford. Now choose FlexBuy on Explorer with 2.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus 1,000 FlexBuy and 500 low APR cash, only at your local Ford dealer.
At Consumer Cellular, our customer service team is based here in America.
America?
America.
From sea to shining sea.
Beautiful.
Join the media sales team at Television Wisconsin and be part of something bigger. If you're passionate about helping local businesses succeed, apply today at channel3000.com. We're not just hiring, we're building careers.
Well, take a look at this. The Radio City Rockettes, the stars behind the beloved Christmas Spectacular, have taken over the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Oh, look at that.
The Rockettes recorded their dance numbers in a New York studio designed to record videos for Sphere. The Sphere Rockettes are 125 feet tall, performing their iconic precision choreography that concludes with their beloved kick line. This is how they made it. The result is spectacular.
If I lived in Vegas, I wouldn't get a thing done.
No,
I would just be watching this thing all day long.
Well, there's cameras all over online.
Look at that. Oh, that is really cool.
A little scary.
It almost looks fake, honestly.
And we need to go and see it in person.
We do.
I want to see it.
All right, warming up, hopefully.
Yeah, it's not going to be as cold tomorrow, trust me, and it looks like the weather tomorrow will be similar for the weather the weekend and next week. I'll have the details coming up right after the break.
A safe, accessible bathroom doesn't have to be plain and boring. Call Mad City Baths for easy access tub-to-shower conversions and walk-in tubs infused with Microban antimicrobial protection installed in as little as 1 day.
You know, it's great. It works. I can't say any more than that. You know, it fits my lifestyle, and that's what I needed.
And now during our holiday savings sale, receive 75% off installation of a new bath or shower. 48 months, 0 interest, senior military discounts, and a bonus. Receive $500 in Mad City cash with purchase of a new bath or shower. Plus, call during this program. Have a nice gift for you. A free $50 Walmart gift card with your in-home estimate from Mad City. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. Here's that number again, 608-729-4466.
Get 4 Arby's Classic Roast Beef Sandwiches for just $10. That's 1 for now, 1 after that, 1 to celebrate the first 2, and 1 more because that's how many 4 is. Arby's, we have the meat.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like straight lines that seem wavy, blurry or missing visual spots that make it hard to see faces, like this one, or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. GA is irreversible. It's important to catch it early. Talk to your eye doctor about GA and learn more at gawon'twait.com.
Pick and Save gives you so many ways to save, on top of our lower than low prices. Enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. Plus, our weekly sales will keep your budget merry and bright. So get rewarded and save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Here are the 3 things you need to know for the rest of the week. Now that, at least during the daytime, the cold weather won't be as big of an issue. High temperatures tomorrow are going to be near 40, and we're also not expected to see a ton of precipitation for the rest of the week. We do have a chance of some rain and snowfall over the weekend, but at this moment, it doesn't appear to be very significant. Now, here's a look at the current temperatures right now in Dane County, mostly in the lower 20s, and that's the case for much of our area, with a few locations in the teens. Now I'm showing you the current temperatures again right now because looking at the low temperatures tonight, they're going to be very similar, if not a bit warmer. Temperatures are going to be pretty steady, if not slowly rising throughout the night. And then as we get towards the day tomorrow, it's going to be a lot warmer compared to today. Highs will be right around 40 degrees, and we also are going to see plenty of sunshine. It'll feel like spring compared to today and yesterday. Now, as we go into Thursday, conditions are going to be very similar. We are going to see a bit more cloud cover, but high temperatures will once again be around 40. And that's going to be the case for the most part for the rest of the week, or for the weekend and next week. Now, they will drop a little bit into the middle 30s, but considering the highs today and yesterday were in the middle to lower 20s, even the 30s will be a lot warmer. And that looks to continue even towards the end of next week, as high temperatures could possibly be back into the lower 40s. Now, here's a look at future track. As we get into Friday, that's going to be the next chance of precipitation, but most of the rain during the day on Friday will stay to the south of Wisconsin. Friday night into Saturday, we could see a few sprinkles and flurries, but not going to see much. And then during Saturday evening, again, a chance of some flurries. By the time we get to Saturday night, we do have a chance of more consistent snowfall, but it looks to clear out of our area rather quickly, with another chance of some rain and snow showers Sunday night into Monday. So a few chances of precipitation over the weekend, but each individual chance looks to be relatively light. So here's a look at the precipitation chances in general. Friday night, Saturday, and Saturday night, small chance of precipitation. Sunday during the day, even smaller. A little bit of a better chance for Sunday night into Monday, but once again, it is looking to remain fairly light. Now, as we look at the full 7-day forecast, those temperatures, as I mentioned, they're going to remain in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Chance of snow showers Friday night into Saturday, and then again Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday, kind of during the overnight hours will be the best chance of that precipitation. At this time, it does look like next week is going to be fairly dry after the rain and snow clear out of the area on Monday, with temperatures once again in the middle 30s to lower 40s. So although we do have that chance of precipitation, like I mentioned, not expect to see a lot of accumulation, maybe an inch at most, but it's still pretty unclear, as there is still quite a bit of inconsistencies with the system over the weekend, but it's mostly the inconsistencies in the timing. Don't expect to see a ton of precipitation or accumulation this weekend. But I know a lot of people are probably looking forward to the warmer temperatures, and although they're not going to be perfect, they are going to be a lot better than today and yesterday. It is really cold out right now.
And this is that wacky time of year when 40 feels like 70.
Yeah, right. I mean, 40 going forward is going to be above average now.
Wow. No single-digit lows in there. That's good news.
Yeah, that's good.
Jacob, thank you.
Thank you, Jacob.
A house in Illinois is celebrating Christmas Taylor's style.
The family in Naperville decked the halls in everything Taylor related, and wait till you see, they're not kidding, for the holidays.
Rob Hughes has the details of swiftness in the suburbs.
By foot, by car, even by trolley.
The traffic is picking up in front of the Scott household like some kind of suburban legend.
We weren't expecting, like, all of this.
Maybe they should have. After all, Taylor Swift is on a bit of a roll.
It's been
a
great.
little crazy this
It's
year.
been great.
Long story short, Amy Scott is the mastermind behind the afterglow lighting up her Naperville neighborhood. She says the idea to bring the season of Swift to her house came to her after seeing the Eras Tour movie.
I walked out of there saying two things. Number one, I want bangs. And number two, we can do this for our lights display.
Her husband, Brian, her daughters, Rebecca and Emily, were enchanted with the idea. The planning took a few weeks. Then came time to put it all together over Thanksgiving break. Not a blank space in sight.
When we got home on Wednesday, we got out of the car from driving 3 hours from college, and my mom's like, all right, let's go start on the Christmas lights and put up the friendship bracelets and everything. So it's really fun to be a part of this.
Did you guys get bracelets?
Even the neighbors helping spread the spirit of Swift.
I want to trade. You want to trade? Okay. We have all the girls in the neighborhood made friendship bracelets to pass out, and so they have been passing out friendship bracelets and just sharing that love and kindness with everybody.
Scott says Taylor Swift is about a lot of the same themes as Christmas, like spreading happiness and joy. And just in case you want to celebrate Swiftmas yourself,
We'll leave the Christmas lights up till January.
Now, hopefully, this story's going viral now. Maybe Taylor Swift will actually roll up and surprise him.
Well, she's also wrapped up her tour, her 2023 tour, and there is a word that she may be at Lambeau Field on Sunday night when Kansas City plays Green Bay.
Oh, that would be amazing. Then every other shot, you know, whenever anything is scored, because she's in a relationship, of course, with the Chiefs, Travis Kelce, they always take a shot of her. And then maybe we'll get as many shots as Simone Biles, too. So it'll be a big gift. And then there's also a football game.
Yeah, by the way, football game.
On top of it, yeah.
I'm sure NBC is praying that she's there.
Oh, I hope she is, too. That would be exciting.
Well, we've got tips on helping you buy a new TV for the holidays coming up next.
And then coming up next hour at 5, 2 local farmers retire after decades in the field right on the outskirts of Madison. We'll have their story of their family farm coming up tonight at 5.
It was a Swift, and they cleaned up pretty good after themselves, so no complaints.
Mad City Baz is A+ rated with the BBB. With more than 50,000 satisfied customers, our installers are experts in their field and pay close attention to detail, performing a full job site cleanup. It's just another reason homeowners love Mad City Baz. Upgrade your bathroom and save during our holiday savings sale. Receive 75% off installation of a new bath or shower. 48 months, 0 interest. Senior military discounts and a bonus. Receive $500 in Mad City cash with purchase of a new bath or shower. Plus, call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with your in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. Here's that number again, 608-729-4466.
In a Class 3 casino, you're playing against the house, so there's no guarantee a player has to win, ever. And in a Class 2 casino, the players play against each other, and not the house. So someone always wins.
So you're saying... He's saying if you want to win at something, you have to go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, a Class 2 casino where someone has to win.
How about this then?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Shopping online for a Purple mattress? We get it. With Purple's unique Gel Flex grid and multiple foam layers, you'll experience effortless sleep that's motion adaptive, temperature balanced, pressure relieving, and ultra supportive. But which Purple mattress is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. And during our Black Friday sale, get a deep deal on your deepest sleep with up to $900 off Purple mattress and adjustable base bundles. Shop Purple at Denver Mattress, the easiest way to find your perfect Purple.
When dry eye symptoms keep coming back, inflammation might be to blame. Over-the-counter eye drops can provide temporary relief. Zydra can provide lasting relief. It targets inflammation that can cause dry eye disease. Zydra treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. Don't use if allergic to Zydra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort or blurred vision when applied, and unusual taste sensation. Why wait? Ask your doctor about a 90-day prescription and pay as little as $0. Zydra.
Breaking news at 5, a local middle school is evacuated for a bomb threat. Arman Rahman is in Stoughton with the newest updates on this developing situation.
Temperatures will be rising overnight, and high temperatures tomorrow will be 15 to 20 degrees milder than today. Temperatures will be near or above normal into the weekend. At 5, I'll let you know if there'll be any rain or snow chances.
And ahead at 6, 2 local farmers retire after decades in the field just on the outskirts of Madison. We'll show you how their view of the countryside has changed over the course of their careers tonight at 6.
Giving the weather satellite a spin, we end up in New York City. 34 degrees. I got our weather.
Oh, I love that night shot.
It's a great shot. Well, holiday gifts aren't just for kids. Maybe you want something the whole family can enjoy, like a television.
Consumer Reports tests TVs all year long and has tips so that you can make a great choice and get a great deal. Here's our Shane Hogan.
Consumer Reports will arm you with the best intel when shopping this holiday season because they monitor TVs all year long. They examine how wide a TV's viewing angle is, so you don't have to sit directly in front of it to get a great picture. They also test for how well a TV can reproduce deep black levels, important for image quality, motion blur, or how a TV handles action scenes, and HDR, or high dynamic range, which can boost a TV's brightness, colors, and contrast, so the images you see on the screen are closer to what you see in real life. When shopping, it's important to beware of those bargain basement doorbuster TV specials you see advertised. They're often from lesser-known brands, and CR says they're not always worth it.
Remember, you'll be watching that new TV for years. If you're unhappy with the performance or features, you may really regret not spending a little bit more to get something better.
You may even want to take advantage of the sales to treat yourself to a better or bigger model. CR crunched the numbers on 3 years of its TV ratings and found models for major brands like LG, Samsung, and Sony tend to perform better than lesser-known brands. So, if you're looking to snag a TV on sale, CR's advice is to check for deals early and often and online. Some retailers are offering the same promotions there as they do in stores. Worried you'll make the wrong choice or miss out on a better deal? Check out stores' holiday return or price match policies if you spot a bigger sale later in the season. Target, for instance, offers price adjustments for items bought through December 24th. Just contact customer service with your receipt on hand. This is Shane Hogan.
And don't worry if you didn't find the TV you love this year. January and February are another great time to buy TVs.
TV models that have been out for nearly a year often go on sale right around the Super Bowl. By the way, that's February 11th this year.
On CBS.
On CBS in Las Vegas. So that's when we can go and see the Sphere. When we go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
The Packers aren't, but we're just going.
Right.
Well, respiratory illnesses are rising throughout the country, including southern Wisconsin.
UW Health's Chief Quality Officer, Dr. Jeff Potoff, is standing by in the green room with advice on how to stay healthy over the holidays. We'll have our conversation with Dr. Potoff when we come back.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Still living with that old bathroom from the 70s, 80s, or 90s? Then call Mad City Baths and bring your bathroom up to date with a new walk-in shower with modern colors and patterns, customized with shelves, grab bars, and handhelds. And remember, with Mad City's Price Lock Guarantee, lock your price in for 1 year. There's still time to save during our holiday savings sale. Receive 75% off installation of a new bath or shower. 48 months, 0 interest. Senior military discounts, and call now to get the bonus. Receive $500 in Mad City cash with purchase of a new bath or shower. Plus, last chance to call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with your in-home estimate. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. Here's that number again, 608-729-4466.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
To everyone who appreciates a handcrafted meal, are you ready for a taste of Wisconsin?
Butterburger's cooked fresh, just the way you like.
The way you love.
Definitely love.
And our thick and creamy frozen custard, we make it for you all throughout the day. All day.
All day, every day. Put it in the extra work and not cutting corners. Takes a little longer.
But it's how we've always done it at Culver's. Because making your meal with care shows how much we care.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
It's that time of year again, America. So let's light up the season during the Make the Holidays Bright sales event. Choose from a large inventory of Ford vehicles equipped with technology, space, and flexibility for any season. Get special offers on our adventure-ready SUVs or on our great selection of Ford trucks. And make the holidays bright with Ford. Now, choose FlexBuy on Bronco Sport with 2.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $1,000 FlexBuy, $1,000 bonus, and $1,000 low APR cash.
A truck crash can be life-changing. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. We have a powerful team with the knowledge, resources, and history of results you'll need. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Here's a look at your first warn traffic. Overall, pretty good across Madison. The belt line is green in both directions. Interstate is green in both directions as well. Now, there are some slowdowns in Verona. The 151 westbound approaching Verona, speeds are down to 15 miles per hour. And also the 151 eastbound actually looks like it just improved, but still a few slowdowns. Now, speaking of the interstate, green in both directions near Madison. That's also the case as we go down south towards Janesville and up north towards the Dells. Looking at specific times in Madison, Beltline green in both directions. Some pretty downtown also green at this time. And that's your first warn traffic. Back to you guys at the couch.
Jacob, thank you. What better way to get lost in the holiday hoopla than to get lost in a holiday maze featuring roughly 4 million lights brought in on 60 semi-trucks. The whimsical display took almost a month to set up. Visitors are invited to explore the winding winter wonderland. Just make sure you leave enough time to find your way out.
Where is this?
Kansas City. Oh, I forgot to say
Kansas City. All right, road trip.
Thank you.
Me and lights.
Thank you for asking. We'll stop at KC on the way to Vegas.
All right, that's the date. Doctors are warning about a potential holiday surge in sicknesses after many of us gathered around a Thanksgiving table with a lot of people.
Cases of COVID, flu, and RSV are all rising, but there are vaccinations for all 3 respiratory viruses.
UW Health Chief Quality Officer Dr. Jeff Potoff is here for his weekly visit. Hi, Dr. Potoff.
Good to see you.
So,
is this alarming?
I don't know if it's alarming, certainly not nearly as alarming as it was during the pandemic, and we were really worried about holiday gatherings and what that would do for numbers. But, I mean, at the same time, no reason to believe that we're not going to see more respiratory illnesses after a holiday like Thanksgiving where we all go inside and eat turkey together. That'll probably happen.
We're seeing a lot, especially of RSV. The CDC said there's been a sharp rise in cases across the country and here locally as well.
We're starting to see the rise here. So certainly other parts of the country are kind of in the thick of it. Here our RSV cases are just starting to rise. No reason to think that that won't continue now for the next couple of months before it kind of peters out, probably sometime in February. But yeah, RSV is in the community right now.
But there are 3 vaccines for it now.
You know, there are. We went from nothing for RSV last year to, if you're over 65, we have the older folks RSV vaccine, prevents hospitalization. If you're pregnant and you're going to give birth in the next couple of weeks, we have that vaccine that then protects your infant from RSV for that first RSV season. And if you have very young children, not a vaccine, but something that acts much like a vaccine, antibodies, which you can get that injection that stays in your system, fights RSV for about 6 months, protects those young kids. So a plethora of options to protect yourself against RSV this year that we didn't have last year.
How do you know which one you have? If you have RSV, is it pneumonia, RSV,
Because
COVID?
it all starts like a common cold, doesn't it?
I'll let you in on the doctor's secret. We order a test and it tells us, because otherwise you can't really tell early on
it's all sort of
which one it is. Yep.
Kind of
so
the same?
when you come in and we're going to test you for a respiratory illness, we're usually testing for influenza A, COVID, and RSV. When you first come in, they're almost indistinguishable. There's enough variation between them where you can't tell.
So for parents, is that your advice, to just bring your child in to figure out what it is?
So not so much. This is going to sound crazy, but for most people, doesn't matter which one you have. Whether you have RSV, influenza, or COVID, don't get anyone else sick, so stay home, cover your cough, stay well hydrated, Tylenol, ibuprofen for aches and pains. It's when you get more ill, so you're starting having trouble breathing, things like that, that would be the time to take it in. And then we test because there's different treatments for influenza, Tamiflu, things like that. For COVID, we've got Paxlovid, and for RSV, we say, sorry, there's nothing that we've got for you, but here's some supportive care.
Well, that's great news. There's nothing you can do about it. Are we seeing pockets around the country where it's worse than others?
We see that kind of the little pockets, typically with a lot of respiratory illnesses, and I don't know why it is, but the Southeast typically starts to light up first. That's kind of like our canary in the coal mine, and then we see it kind of come across, and that's kind of been what it's been like this year. We've been hearing about RSV, COVID, even influenza, kind of Southeast United States, and now the last couple of weeks we've seen those viruses uptick here in Dane County too. Influenza being the one that's probably sharpest on the rise, COVID increasing, and RSV just starting its upward trajectory.
Are you too late to get a flu shot or to get your COVID vaccine if you still want to get those vaccinations?
Not too late, but at this time too, this is where folks will sometimes say, well, I got vaccinated and then I got pick your disease. Well, that's because you got vaccinated while these things were in the community. You probably ran into the virus before you had your protection from your vaccine. But you always have the chance of getting vaccinated, and then you run into the actual virus. You might have some symptoms, but you're probably not going to get as sick.
So it's a 2-week lag or so between the shot?
About 14 days is a good way to do it, yeah.
So the shot will lessen the severity of the illness?
Yep, if you don't catch it for the 14 days between your shot and when you get your disease.
Here we are, 3 years later.
I know, we're still talking about it.
We're less stressed about it, I think.
Absolutely.
I think the vaccine, there's no vaccine at first, and nobody knew what was happening.
And people, people are not gathering.
Well, right, and the percent of people getting really sick is much, much less than it was before. Not to say some people don't get really, really sick, but it's a different world than it was during the pandemic.
If you don't feel well, stay home.
Absolutely.
Doctor, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Dr. Potoff. Good to see you.
And the final check your forecast coming up.
What did you get?
A 94.
That's good. AAA Auto Insurance scored a 94 on member satisfaction.
What? AAA Auto Insurance?
Uh-huh. You can't shush the truth, people. You can't shush the truth.
AAA Auto Insurance. Expect something more.
Save big money on your next project right now at Menards. Easily clean up wet and dry messes with the Shop Vac 10-gallon vacuum. It's the perfect companion for any shop or job site. Pick one up today for $84.99. Keep your guns and ammunition safely secured with Sports Afield gun safes. Big, medium, or small, we carry many sizes to fit your needs. The Sports Afield Denali Fireproof 32 gun safe with the electronic lock is $799.
Salonpas, makers of powerful pain relief patches for 89 years, believes in continuous improvement, like rounded corners that resist peeling, with an array of active ingredients and sizes to relieve your pain. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
We keep this love in a photograph. We make these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, our hearts are never broken. Time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped.
What did you get?
A 94.
That's good. AAA Auto Insurance scored a 94 on member satisfaction.
What? AAA Auto Insurance?
Uh-huh. You can't shush the truth, people. You can't shush the truth.
AAA Auto Insurance. Expect something more.
Breaking news at 5, a local middle school is evacuated for a bomb threat. Arman Rahman is in Stoughton with the newest updates on this developing situation. Then, how the Literacy Network is helping students outside the classroom this Giving Tuesday. That's coming up next.
From damaging drought to catastrophic flooding and severe storms in every season, the News 3 Now First Warn Weather Team gives you a deeper understanding of Wisconsin's ever-changing weather with special reports that go beyond the barometer. Only on News 3 Now.
Here's a final look at your forecast. Temperatures are going to be warmer tomorrow. Highs will be around 40, and that will continue for Thursday. A brief cool down Friday and Saturday, but still going to be in the upper 30s to lower 40s, and that's going to continue for much of next week. We do have a few chances of rain and snow over the weekend, Friday night, Saturday night into Sunday, and then Sunday night into Monday. A lot of the overnight hours looks like to be the best chance for that precipitation, but it doesn't appear to be very heavy, so we aren't expecting to see a lot of accumulation. Much of next week after Monday looks to be fairly dry, as temperatures will rise back into the lower 40s by next Thursday and Friday.
9 degrees last night, and there's a fly in here.
Well, he's looking for the warmth. It's too cold outside.
Tomorrow here Live at 4, we'll see how some groups combine travel with volunteering to give back to communities.
And we go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs in the 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Heritage Edition. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
What can our foam do for your home? You'll be warm and comfortable inside, even when it's freezing outside. Your furnace will run less, keeping your heating bills lower. You'll have consistent temperatures throughout the whole house, and those annoying outside noises won't be nearly as loud. Upgrading your insulation upgrades your life. Winterproof now and get 0% financing for 72 months.
USA Insulation.
Hey neighbor, you look happy.
I just got the statement from my last doctor visit.
And you're happy about it?
I actually am. I have a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, so I know exactly what's covered. It really helps me to stay on budget.
Is it expensive? I'm on a fixed income and prices lately make it almost impossible to stick to my budget.
It's actually quite reasonable and saves me money. Plus, I get all the benefits I need in one simple plan, so it's easy and affordable.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield Medicare Advantage plans have prices to fit your budget and provide the benefits you may need in one convenient plan. Just tell us your needs and your zip code, and we'll help you find a plan that's right for you. You may even be able to get a plan with additional benefits like dental, hearing, prescription drug coverage, and more. But you don't get a Medicare Advantage plan automatically. You have to take action. The Medicare annual enrollment period is right now, and you may be eligible for a plan today. Call Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield now to find out what over 32 million friendly neighbors already know about our Medicare Advantage plans. We have knowledgeable licensed insurance agents standing by 24/7, ready to help Medicare members just like you. The call is free and there's no obligation to enroll. You may be able to get a Medicare Advantage plan with additional benefits you want.
I had the same plan for years, but it just wasn't working for me anymore. I called and I couldn't believe what they had to offer. Plus, it's the Medicare annual enrollment period right now, so you might even be able to enroll in a plan today.
What's that number again?
Call Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield today. Call 800-608-5381. That's 800-608-5381. 800-608-5381.
In today's Final Touch, just as they have for millions of years, sea turtles by the thousands crawl from the ocean to lay their eggs in U.S. beaches.
And this year, record nesting was found in Florida and elsewhere despite growing concern about threats from climate change. In Florida, preliminary state statistics show more than 133,840 loggerhead turtle nests, breaking a record set in 2016. Same for green turtles, where it's estimated there are at least 76,500 nests, well above the previous mark set in 2017. Turtles come ashore on summer nights, digging pits in the sand and depositing dozens of eggs before covering them up and returning to the sea. Only about 1 in 1,000 sea turtle hatchlings live to adulthood. Florida beaches are one of the most important hatcheries for loggerheads in the world.
It's one of the most fascinating spectacles in nature.
What's it called when they all come out at once?
A boil.
A boil of turtles.
My dad used to be on the turtle team. He's seen one. I never have.
But pretty fascinating.
Yep.
That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.